Unqualified critics here. Let's talk about National Owners Day for AtGames. They didn't do anything for CES, and I said, what's going on here? Why didn't we hear of any new products? And a few guys in the comments have said, well, wait for National Owners Day. That's when they do it. And allegedly, they're not bringing new products. That's what's been put out into the community. That may well be true, although I'm just always skeptical when I hear that because, that could be a gimmick itself. Hey, we're not going to bring any new products, and then boom, they drop something new. So I don't know. I'll believe no new products when I see it, but how crazy would it be if we get no new AtGames products this year? When in a year when we got a newly redesigned iiRcade and the Arcade1up Pro line and some more authentic than ever Arcade1up legacy cabs. To me, that's sort of mind blowing, but AtGames is doing something right, because if I asked you which company, Arcade1up or AtGames, has the most employees, and I won't even ask about iiRcade because you'd probably say iiRcade has the fewest employees, and you'd be right. But between Arcade1up and AtGames, who has the bigger payroll? According to LinkedIn, exactly the same, 40 employees, and that's counting people who put them as their employer in their profile. So it's a really hard thing to fake, give or take, because sometimes people leave and keep it in their profile. But 40 employees per company. Arcade1up sold 3 million cabinets. AtGames is doing a lot right, clearly. However, I think they're to a point where they're sort of self-limiting, and not necessarily in a bad way. I think they found that their niche really is the enthusiast, and they doubled, triple, quadrupled down on that. But even think about National Owners Day. I mean, not doing anything with CES, but you got your own day, okay, but it's Owners Day. But what about people that haven't bought the product yet and they're thinking about it? Well, they're not invited, right? They're not an owner. It's Owners Day. Now, I know you could buy the product and participate. I just always thought that's a weirdly inward-looking way to present your biggest day of the year for announcements and deals and whatever else. So, anyway, all that's to say, AtGames, much bigger company than I would have thought, and they do have products outside of home arcade. They have online cloud services and stuff, and I have no idea who their customers are, how big those businesses are. Maybe that's most of their revenue. But given that we all know them for the Legends Ultimate, it just makes me think they're selling a lot more arcades than I would have guessed, given that they've got 40 employees they can float. I mean, that might not sound like a lot, but again, to put in comparison, Arcade1up sold 3 million cabs. How little money is Arcade1up making per cab? Maybe that should be the discussion. So we all know the discounts that are coming from AtGames. But man, if we're really not getting a product this year, I don't know about you guys, I was looking forward to the Racer cab. Now, they teased this months ago, and I haven't seen anything else since. A little disappointed that they teased it, and then now I'm starting to wonder, are we actually going to get this product? Why was this talked about so early if it's not even being announced at, the CES window? I get it. It's National Owners Day, not CES, but whatever. It's clearly the early year. That is the window when retailer or when electronics makers announce stuff. I was hoping we'd get this. I'm still going to cross my fingers and hope, but we'll see. Now, when this was announced, Retro Ralph pointed out rightly that this is a product you can buy on Alibaba. My point is that's true, and I'll even say it's a little lame that AtGames put this out there as their own product without making any kind of customizations, or, I mean, geez, there's not even different decals or stuff. Seems a little lame. But as a product, I don't really care if this is available as something I can buy standalone at Alibaba. If it's decent quality, what I want is a multi-game racer, because racing cabinets take up a lot of space. Most people aren't going to be able to buy 10 or 12 of them. So having one that can play lots of racing games is awesome. But here's the other thing that would be dope about this if we ever get it from AtGames. Think about their cloud gaming service, right? That service on the Legends Ultimate you've probably played once and then ignored. Well, because it's letting you stream games from the 70s and 80s, like, who cares? You could play that on local hardware. You could play that in the included PCB, no problem. Why do we care about streaming? I think we do care if suddenly you could play a game like Daytona USA. Now, I'm not suggesting they are going to be able to license Daytona USA for this, but I'm just saying, if we could get more modern, polygon-based racing games available for this using AtGames' existing game streaming infrastructure, that would be amazing. And I hope they're able to capitalize on that. If they're not, like, let's say they can't get the licensing for those titles, Well, I mean, look, you clearly just put a computer in this thing, so you could do what you do with the Legends pinball, right? They've done such a good job at AtGames of supporting that pinball table for you, the person who wants to mod it, for you, the person who wants to run from their own PC. So that's exciting in pinball. Maybe a little less so because you got to worry about messing with the exciters and stuff. But here in a racing game, a lot of racing game software is already optimized for steering wheels and pedals and maybe even force feedback, depending on how new we're talking. So if you could just play the games yourself, BYOG this thing, that would be awesome because you could run it on a real computer, which is going to be a lot more powerful than whatever they're able to supply, assuming they want to keep this thing $500 to $700, let's say. And I'm just pulling that number out of a hat. This is not going to be $2,000 hardware, though. So being able to supply your own computer is going to be a game changer. And if they can fix how this thing looks a little bit, you know, with some better imagery, I think they'll have a hit on their hands. But guys, I don't know. We're being told we're not getting this. So at least not yet. So I find that kind of disappointing. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you excited for National Owners Day? If this truly is just some discounts, you know, maybe that's all you need. Although, how many of you care about the discounts if, you know, you already have the stuff, the software you might not care about because you BYOG. Is this the best time to get accessories? Yeah, it definitely is. So, and they do have a really rich accessories ecosystem. I got to give it to them. AtGames has done a good job with that. And before we go, I don't know how many of you have seen this, but there's a video called
Arcade1up Illuminati Exposed.
It's worth listening to just for sort of the humor factor. I mean, it's kind of funny. You've got a guy with a hidden voice, a spooky track in the background, a guy with the mask on the image in the video. It's sort of funny. I know that there are a lot of people in the home arcade space that take all this stuff way too seriously, and their whole damn identity is wrapped up in all this, right? And so there's some weird people in the space, no question. And I don't know what this is. Like, is this a fan? Is this somebody who maybe works for a company? John D claims it's someone who works for UNICO. The crux of the video, he's claiming John D is a ringleader to get people to shill for Arcade1up and shill against specifically UNICO. I don't know if that's true. You know, I don't know if Arcade1up is the reason UNICO lost the license for SNK. Honestly, I don't even know for certain they did lose the license. I think they did. I reached out and asked, and that was the first thing they didn't respond to me on. So I always had I thought a good relationship with the UNICO team. But then when I said, hey, is this true? Did you lose the license? And, you know, it wasn't an accusatory thing. I'm just curious. These things come and go. And they never answered. So I'm assuming they did lose it. And I mean, that would be a big blow to their business. But, you know, hopefully they can go out and get another license and stay in the game. But at the end of the day, did John D really cause that? I kind of doubt it. You know, and I know there's the high-low stuff, but John D couldn't successfully get the damn license to begin with from SNK, as pointed out in this video. I knew that backstory. I mean, if he can't do that, then how can he also then get SNK to can another company's license? He could maybe do stuff around the edges, but clearly there were some problems there that had probably nothing to do with John. As far as is he a ringleader with some YouTubers, I don't know. In general, you know, you just want to pay attention and see, you know, what are people's incentives, what are people's motives, are they getting free product or not? This guy's saying, hey, people should be honest when they're getting free product. And I agree with that. But I've always had the sense people are pretty honest about that. I mean, I've seen videos and reviews, and everybody would say, you know, hey, I got this as a review product. Okay, cool. You know, are there really a lot of videos out there being made where people are misrepresenting if a product was free? Also, 1UP, I don't think, gives out a ton of free product. Some stuff here and there, yeah, the Killer Instinct, some pinballs. They've given some stuff out over the years, but they're not like just handing this stuff out like candy. So, and also, by the way, if someone's on YouTube talking about these products and they're really willing to shill because they got a $700 product for free once, let's have a little more dignity than that. Your price shouldn't be that low. I'm not saying it's not exciting to get free product, but Jesus. But you know, other companies give out free stuff. AtGames is giving out free stuff. I have no idea if everybody's honest about it all the time. I guess it's a good question to ask as a viewer. I know when I do a video and something's free, or I bought it, or I got it at a discount or whatever, I tell you guys. I know a lot of other people do that too. But just see, you know, when you watch a review, and did they mention if it was free or not? Maybe ask in the comments, whatever. End of the day, home arcade's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, you know, a goofball hobby, nostalgia, remind us of our childhoods or teen years. Hopefully things aren't that dark, and hopefully, you know, the bigger picture, whether this guy who did this video is from UNICO or not, I hope UNICO can bounce back. They're going to need to get some licenses. I know the products they're trying to do right now don't involve licenses, but you know, if you're going to compete, you got to have licenses. So I hope they're able to sort that out. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, if you made it this far, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and I will talk to you soon.